Math with Mr. Williams. Example 1. Writing an inequality. A number q plus 5 is less than or equal to negative 7.9. Write this word sentence as an inequality. So we have q plus 5. So we're going to write that as q plus 5. And then we have is less than or equal to. That means less than or equal to negative 7.9. And that's how we write our inequality. Math with Mr. Williams, example 2, checking solutions. Tell whether negative 2 is a solution of y minus 5 is greater than or equal to negative 6. So the first thing we need to do is write down the inequality. We have y equals negative 5 is greater than or equal to a negative 6. And now we're going to substitute in the negative 2. All right, so let's go ahead and do the math on the left-hand side. We have negative 2 minus 5. That's going to arrive at a negative 7. So the question is negative 7 greater than or equal to a negative 6? And the answer is no, it is not. It is actually less than negative 6. All right, second one. Tell whether negative 2 is a solution of negative 5.5 y is less than 14. So we write down the inequality. We have negative 5.5 times y is less than 14. Now we're going to substitute the negative 2 in. And now we're going to multiply the negative 5.5 times the negative 2. Two negatives give us a positive answer. 5.5 times 2 leave us at 11. So is 11 less than 14? Yes, it is. So in the second one, negative 2 is a solution to the inequality. Math with Mr. Williams, example 3. Solving an inequality using addition. Solve x minus 5 is less than negative 3. Graph the solution. So let's go ahead and start off by writing down our inequality. All right, so what I like to do is use my line of inequality. It's a dotted line versus a solid line for equals. And now I'm going to use my inverse operations. So I see x minus 5. I'm going to add 5 to both sides to cancel out the subtraction. This cancels the minus and plus 5, leaving my variable x is less than negative 3 plus a positive 5 is a positive 2. So my answer is x is anything less than 2. So I locate 2 on my graph. And because it is not equal to it, it's an open circle. X is anything less than 2, so I draw an arrow to the left. Math with Mr. Williams, example 4. Solving an inequality using subtraction. Solve 13 is less than or equal to x plus 14. Graph the solution. So let's start off by writing down our inequality. Okay, now let's do our line of inequality, which is just a dotted line. All right, so let's use our inverse operations here. So I see plus 14. We're going to subtract 14 from both sides. Adding 14 and subtracting 14 cancels out. 13 minus 14 will give us a negative 1 is less than or equal to x. All right, so let's go ahead and graph it. So we're looking for a negative 1. We see it is less than or equal to, so we're going to draw a closed circle. And x is anything that is greater than the negative 1, so our line goes to the right. Math with Mr. Williams, example 5. Solving an inequality using multiplication. Solve x over 5, which is less than or equal to a negative 3. Then graph the solution. So let's go ahead and start by writing down our inequality. Okay, so now I'm going to draw my line of inequality, dotted line going down. And now we're going to look at what operations involved. Right now we have dividing by 5, so we're going to cancel that by multiplying each side by 5. The 5s on the left will cancel out. When you multiply and divide by the same number, they cancel, leaving me x is less than or equal to negative 3 times 5 is a negative 15 as an answer. Okay, so we see that x is less than or equal to a negative 15, so we identify the negative 15, Because it is also equal to it, we're going to use a filled in circle. And now the x is on the lesser side of it, so we know the line goes to the left. So x is less than or equal to a negative 15. Math with Mr. Williams, example 6, solving an inequality using division. Solve 6x is greater than negative 18. Graph the solution. So let's first write down the inequality. So we have 6x is greater than a negative 18. We'll draw a line of inequality. We see that 6 is being multiplied, so to cancel that, we are going to divide both sides by 6 by showing that fraction. The 6, when you multiply and divide by it, cancels, leaving me x is greater than negative 18 divided by 6 is a negative 3. So x is anything greater than negative 3. So we identify negative 3 on our graph. Because the x is greater than negative 3 and not equal to it, it's an open circle. So we draw our line to the right. Math with Mr. Williams, example 7, solving an inequality using multiplication. Solve negative 3 over 2 times n is less than or equal to 6. Graph the solution. So let's start off by writing our inequality, which is negative 3 over 2 times n is less than or equal to 6. So now we need to cancel that fraction. To cancel the fraction, we are going to multiply by its reciprocal to both sides of our line of inequality. So on the left, we're going to multiply by a negative 2 over 3. On the right, we're going to multiply by that negative 2 over 3. All right, now this will cancel the fractions on the left, leaving us n. And because we multiplied by a negative number, our inequality will flip its direction. Now it will be greater than or equal to, and then we bring down the math on the right. Okay, so on the right, we have 6 times negative 2. We're going to say negative 12 over 3. And negative 12 divided by 3 will get us a negative 4 for our final answer. So n is any number greater than or equal to a negative 4. All right, so we identify that negative 4 on our graph. And because n is also equal to it, we're going to make it a solid circle. And n is anything greater than that negative 4, so our line goes to the right.